So today, what we're going to do is actually the worksheet covers these 3 topics we call the total unchanged, difference unchanged, and everything changed. This is in school, your teachers would call it your, what kind of question? Anyone? What kind of question is this? Before?
Before and after.
Yeah, it is your before and after question, okay? Now, before and after question, or some schools will call it changed question. Okay, so they all mean the same thing. Okay, it involves change taking place. Now, when we say total unchanged, what kind of questions involve total unchanged? What kind of questions do you think involve total unchanged? Anyone? Yes, Giselle? What kind of, what type of questions? Or then? Anybody can give me an answer? Okay, I'll give you an example, okay? Tanishka? Internal transfer. Have you ever heard of this? Okay, when you have an exchange between 2 people, an internal transfer, the total between them before and after will remain unchanged. Okay, now another for difference unchanged, can anyone tell me, give an example, what type of question is difference unchanged?
External.
No? External?
Oh, external is everything.
What kind of questions involve difference unchanged? Then, or Ahana, you want to try? No? Have you ever heard of these? Age question. So regardless of whether now, in the past, or in the future, the difference between 2 people, the difference in age between 2 people will always remain unchanged. Okay? Got it? Now, for example, let's say I am 15 years old and you all are 10 years old, right? The difference in our age will always be 5. So next year, I will be 16, you all will be 11, right? So what's the difference in our age? Will still be 5. So regardless of in the past, now, or future, difference in age will always be the same. Now, I'm going to give you another example. Let's say I have A and B. A has more than B. The difference between them is this amount, for example. So if they each spend equal amount of money, let's say they have, A has more money than B, and they each spend equal amount of money. So when I say spend equal amount, I remove from the same place. What remains unchanged? Can you see from the model?
Different.
Difference, very good. So another example of difference unchanged is when you have equal remove or equal added. Okay, for both cases, the difference will remain unchanged. And when we look at the last point, last kind of change problem, where you see everything changes, means what? You have A and B. They can decrease, or you can have decrease, increase, or whichever combination. But the change will happen to both of them. That's why they say everything change. Is that okay? Now, let's look at, very quickly, let's look at question number 1. Oh, sorry. Okay, 30 seconds.
Done.
Okay, so let's look at the first, very quickly, the ratio question. You have at first, Carrie had 39 and Yoke had 75. So Carrie had 39 and Yoke had $75. Then what happened? Yoko spent, so take away, Yoko spent 73 on a pair of jeans and Carrie
can-
received 89. So we have our at first, or you have your before. And this is the change that's taking place. So in the end or after, what do you have? You have $128 and $2. Can I change this into a ratio? Means all I need to do is simplify 128 is to 2 to give me 64 is to 1. Yeah? Yeah, waiting. Okay, now, the rest of you who hasn't attempted number 2, you can look at number 2. Now, what kind of change is this is number 2? If anyone can tell me. Number 2, does it involve any change? Does number 2 involve any change? Oh.
Wait, but like for the working for question 1, right? I usually use like C, then like .y.
Because this is an actual value, so we don't need to use the dot lah.
Oh.
This is actual value, right? You can if you want to. You can if you want to, not a problem. You can actually use this C .y 39, 75. Then plus 89,
then-
is it?
No. Then after that, I just like erase the 89, and then I just like write the plus the 39 plus 89 at the side, and then at the bottom, yeah.
Then
And
you
then-
write 75 minus 2, minus 73.
Yes.
Oh, like that. Then you write down the ratio. Ken, it works too. Liana, yes, you can do that. Okay. Liana always very hardworking. Well, a lot of you gave me the right answers. Yes. Okay. Now let's look at question number 2. What kind of, is this a change question or is it just a purely ratio question? So very quickly, those of you who have done it,
This is
you
a
have
pure ratio question.
pure ratio question. So Zachary had a piece of wire, 216 cm long. He used it to form a rectangle with its length and breadth 7:2. So length is how many units? Length, how many units? What's that? 7. Okay. So length is 7 units and breadth will be 2 units. So this is the same around the rectangle. So Evan, in terms of units, what is the perimeter of the rectangle? In terms of units.
That should be 18.
7 and 7, 14, 14 and 4 is 18. So that means 18 unit is 216, right?
216. Then we need to find
Very
one
good.
unit.
Very good. So how do I find 1 unit?
We do 216 divided by 18.
To give me
216 divided by 18 will give you divided by 18 12.
yes. Okay. So now let's ask someone else. Mia, what is the length of the rectangle? Yes, Tanishka, your answer for A is correct. Mia, what's the length of the rectangle? What do you do to get the length? Very good, Tanishka. Yes, Davian. How do I find the length?
12 times 2.
12 times 2. Length. Which one is the length? The longer one or the shorter one?
Longer one. Longer.
Yes, the longer one is the length. So the length is represented by 7 units. So to find the length would be 7 times 12 because 1 unit is, 1 unit is 12. Okay, so all I need to do is, this is 84. Okay, now what is the area of the rectangle? Ke-yin, is it? Is that how I pronounce your name? Ke-yin? Can I find the, do you know how to find the area of the rectangle? Can you tell me the steps?
7 times.
You have the length already, which is 84. Then what do you need to find? Since you already have the length, you need to find the, where is Ke-yin? It disappeared. Oh yeah, we're there. The breadth, yes. Okay, Evan, thank you. So you need to find the breadth. The breadth is 2 units. So if 1 unit is 12, 2 units will be
24.
Very good. So the breadth is 24. So to find the area of the rectangle will be, you take the length.
84 times 24.
Very good. To give me. Wow, so many answers. Yes, length is longer. Very good. Okay. Well done. So I got 2016. So this is 2016. Okay. So that's how we, now it's always important that you make sure that you label every part, like whenever we do figures questions like this, what you need to do would be to label so that you know what you're finding. Okay, labeling is important for you to help you solve the question. So let's look at question number 3. This really long question. Okay, how many of you attempted this and got the right answer? Very good, Giselle. Then okay, Kanishka. All right, so very quickly, for those of you who didn't attempt again, next week you try and do it, okay? So there were 179 black, gray, and yellow thumb drives. So which means that the total number of black, gray, and yellow is 179. Okay, now, so from here, 11 yellow thumb drives were removed from the box. Okay, so this is change number 1. Let's change number 1, right? What happens in change number 1? 11 yellow thumb drives were removed. Change number 1 is remove 11 yellow thumb drives. So I write down. So it's easier for me to be able to see, and because I've already extracted my information. Okay. So after remove 11 thumb drives, okay, the ratio of the number of black to gray to yellow. Black is to gray is to yellow. The ratio became 5:4:3. Yeah, okay. So the total here is 12 units. Now remember, this happened because 11 yellow thumb drives were given away, right? So that means this total of 12 units, do we know how many it is made up of? Is made up of 179 minus the 11 yellow thumb drives that were removed to give me 168. Okay, now so from here, what do I need to know? Okay, now this yellow, then some purple thumb drives were added. This one is later part. So let's look at the first part. Part A, the ratio of the number of black to gray to yellow thumb drives at first. Okay, now I already know 12 unit is 168, and I can find 1 unit, isn't it? 168 divided by 12 to give me 14. From here, I will be able to find out how many each of them, how many each thumb drives have, right? How many of each colored thumb drives there are, isn't it? Since I have the value of my 1 unit, everyone okay? So from here, before I can write down my ratio, what do I need to do? Before I can write down ratio, what I need to do?